What's going on YouTube? It's James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey. Back at it again. It's February 20th today and it's 70 degrees out here. So I'm out working in the fruit forest, and while I was out here, I noticed a few issues with the fruit trees. So I wanted to show you guys what they were and how we could possibly avoid them, and you could avoid them in the future. Let's go. Well, some trees you're going to plant are going to be huge successes, like this beautiful Bing cherry. This is just my favorite tree, I think. The structure on it just looks excellent. The health of it, the color of the bark of that trunk, man. I've got relatively big hands too, and that thing is just a beast. Comfrey growing underneath it. You can see the comfrey that's just chopped and dropped right here. And the new one coming up. I plant all different things under fruit trees, as you know. I've got asparagus under another tree that's doing real well. Excellent performer, that peach tree right there. Put out a lot of fruit last year. Not everything is a success though. Not every tree is going to produce, and especially when you're going with the organic method. Here's a tree, the first tree I put in, I think. First apple tree I put in the whole fruit forest. I think I got it from somewhere like Costco. A 3 grafted tree, and it's still this small, never produced any fruit. I think some of the issue is probably the roots. I think the roots have always been the issue. I never really think that tree had a chance. Like I said, that was the first tree that I put in here. I didn't know that trees could be root bound when they were potted. That's what I think the main problem was. That was a potted tree, and I didn't take any time to spread any of the roots out or take a look at, even if the tree was root bound. So there's a couple other trees that I planted years ago that I think might be having the same issue. Let me show you another one. It's a plum tree, and show you some of the problems that arose from that. And I think the issue might be from the roots, like I said. Am I positive? No, but the fact that they were potted trees makes me think that. Let me show you. What I'm not saying though is that if you have potted trees that you have to pull them out or anything, or that if you have issues, the reason you're having them is because they're potted trees. I'm just saying, if you're going to plant potted trees in the future, just make sure that you take the time to make sure that they're not root bound, that they're not trees that have sat in the store or whatever for a really long period of time. Right here's the tree I'm talking about. It's a plum tree. And one of the reasons it's not doing well, like I said, is because I think it was root bound. And one of the main reasons for that is when I bought the tree. I got this tree for about $5, I think. It was way at the end of the season. So getting trees cheap, it feels great off the bat sometimes, but in the long run you might end up paying for it. I wasn't too worried about this spot because I'm right on the side garden. It barely gets any light. It's on the north side of a house, so I wasn't sure if it was even going to be able to get adequate light, but you can see how the light cuts through just enough. So I'll be able to take that tree out and put something in a lot nicer. But let me just show you some of the spots, some of the dead giveaways that this tree is just not doing well. Look at the base of it. Look at all that nasty stuff coming out, all that gelatin. I've seen that come out of the stalk of a few of my peach trees just a little bit sometimes, but that's bad, real bad. And if you look up from there just a little bit, that's what you see. Not looking good. This isn't really a tree that I even pruned. The structure of it just was like that when I bought it. I kind of just threw it in here. Another reason why investing in the right tree is a good idea. You get what you pay for. So I'm definitely sad to see this one go, but I really think it's necessary. It's my own fault, thinking that I can cheat things, that I can get a tree for $3, $5 right at the store up the street and get it instantly, rather than doing my homework, getting the right tree, putting the money in to get the right investment the first time. I'm going to show you guys where I get my fruit trees and some of my seeds and stuff, and I think that'll really help. That's why I think the how to start a food forest from scratch, that whole series where I'm going through phase 1, phase 2, we're on phase 4 coming up now, ended up being, I think, my favorite series that I've ever done. It's like everything that I've learned through the years, I'm able to wrap up and to be able to, I think, push you guys ahead. Someone said a quote before, they're like, just reading the right book could save you 5 years, could save you 10 years. So I'm hoping that's what these videos do for you guys. They save you 5 years, they save you 10 years, and they bring you to food freedom even quicker. So I've got another tree over here, let me show you. Here we've got another plum tree, the infamous Plum Trees. So this plum tree right here, looks like it's doing all right, but I think I planted about 2 years ago. These things grow so quick. And another one that I got from the store that was potted for cheap. So looking at it, I thought, you know, everything doesn't look too right. And then I came over to do some pruning and stuff, and I noticed something that I really don't like. Up top there, we've got some plum rot right there, which really isn't a good sign. I don't like seeing that. I don't want that spreading to any of my other trees. And this was another tree that I bought that was potted that I got for real cheap. And if this was a healthy tree and it was producing, I would just cut that out and know that in the future, the fertility of the soil would get better. As a result, the tree would get healthy and would be able to fight that off. But since it was a potted tree, I just thought maybe there was a bigger issue, so I decided to take the tree out. It was in a bad location anyways, and I'm happy I did, because these roots are twisted. This was what I thought the problem was going to be. So I'm going to flip it over a little bit and show you guys. I hate taking trees out, but I don't like wasting my time. I want to show you guys the root system of the Santa Rosa plum to show you how twisted it really is. And I'm not trying to bash any kind of one way of growing. I'm not trying to say you can't grow potted trees and that you won't have success. I'm just saying in the past, and from my experience, I've had a lot more success with bare root trees, and I want you guys to succeed as much as possible. I want as many fruit trees to be planted as much as possible, and if you guys have success early, then I think you're going to want to plant even more. So that's why I'm sharing these videos, and if they're helping you out and they're encouraging you and inspiring you, hit that subscribe button, because we're going to continue making videos as the year goes on, and I think it's just going to be even more and more valuable as we gain more knowledge and more experience. So let me bring you even closer to show you how twisted this root system is. So let's see what we got. This tree came out pretty easy because there weren't a lot of roots coming off the side. There was only like one or two because they all had gotten so twisted up. This was one of the ones that I noticed right away. Coming from this side, it came out right here, twisted all the way around, twisted around the back, and down out that side. So that's just, you know, right off the bat, that's not healthy, that's not natural. When I plant the bare root trees, I've talked about it before, you get roots growing it. You can see about 4 main roots, and you can push them all in all different directions. I've mentioned that in the video. Someone said in one of the comments that that's not the reason for growing bare root trees. I know that's not the main reason, but that's one of the things I love about it. Let me show you some of these roots at the bottom too. You can see a lot of these roots probably were at the bottom of the pot, and they just like were twisting around, and they just, you know, they grew twisted. This is a mess. The whole thing is all twisted up all together. So I'm happy I took this tree out now, and maybe I can even flip it around and show you more, but just ugly, just as ugly on this side, all twisting. You can see this one coming up, twisting around, this one twisting back. So this one just is like twisting. By twisting like this, they're basically just suffocating themselves and the whole root system. It's just been suffocating itself basically since it came out of the pot. It probably sat in that pot way too long, and one of the reasons was I got it late. So I mean, if you're going to get a tree that was just potted, fresh potted, that'd be okay, but I go for bare root and pest and disease resistant. I think we know that's how it is though. That's just a part of life. Not everything is just unicorns and rainbows. Not everything works out every single time, especially when we're going with this organic or beyond organic, this natural method. And when you're doing this natural method, for the most part, a lot of the things do work out in the long run. Usually they just take a little longer. So you gotta have patience, that's one thing. But it's definitely worth it in the long run. I can tell you firsthand, because I'm living it, and you guys probably know that it's worth it because I'm starting another one right there. If it wasn't worth it, then I wouldn't. So I'm excited that you guys are following along, and hopefully that you're doing some of the stuff that I'm showing and getting success with it. If you are, post some of the pictures on my Facebook. Let's connect, and let's get a community going, because that's what this is really all about. That's today's video. Thanks for watching. I know I barely even scratched the surface when it comes to issues in fruit trees, but there's a reason that I made this one right now, and there's a few things that I want you guys to take away. I know you might be ordering your fruit trees now or getting ready to, so I want you guys to do a few things if you can. One of them is to order bare root trees. Don't just go to Lowe's or Home Depot or locally and pick up whatever tree they have. If you can, order a bare root tree and order trees that are disease and pest resistant. That'll really help you to start off, and that's something that could bring you, I think, a lot of value. That's one of the main reasons I made this video, to let you guys know, order bare root, order disease and pest resistant, get them in early, get the right varieties first, and you could avoid some of the issues that I had with those trees that I showed you. See you guys in the next one.